Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about something that will completely change your life for the better and that can make you spend a better New Year's Eve. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk about taking cold showers every single morning to become a millionaire or going carnivore or vegan to boost your health overnight. Because in fact, the thing that I'm about to talk about is indeed healthy, but on top of that, it's something that is extremely practical, something that will make you save a bunch of time and that will enhance your whole lifestyle. So let's get straight to the point. That thing is fasting. What? Fasting? Yes, fasting. Stay with me for a few minutes and I guarantee that by the end of the video you will want to implement fasting in your everyday life. Now, I've tried fasting for about a year and a half now, and I've found the best fasting schedule to enhance your whole life. That typical schedule, that routine, I want to make clear that it's about eating less often and not eating less. I'm not talking about cutting weight, trying to lose weight, trying to restrict your calorie intake. I'm just talking about eating less often. And the typical fasting schedule that I follow, which is in my opinion the best one because it has the most benefits and is the most sustainable one, is some kind of intermittent fasting where I wake up, I skip breakfast, I eat my first meal of the day around noon, 1 p.m. ish, and then I eat my second and last meal of the day around 7 or 8 p.m. So it's basically a 7 to 8 hour eating window followed by a 16 or 17 hour fasting window. That's the best schedule in my opinion. And don't worry, if you're lifting weights, if you're exercising a lot, like I do, that schedule is completely sustainable. I personally exercise almost every single day and it's very compatible with that intermittent fasting schedule. You know, some people are doing also some kind of intermittent fasting, but they're only eating once a day, or other people are eating 3 times a day, or other people are eating at different times of the day. They eat for breakfast and they skip lunch or they skip dinner, whatever. That schedule, the one that I follow, is the best because it has the most benefit. And to begin with, the first benefit is that you save time in the morning. The morning is extremely important. What I used to do when I was in high school, when I used to be in high school, is I would wake up very early around 6 a.m. because I wanted to eat a big meal, a real meal, right? I didn't want to eat just cereals or something stupid. So I would cook a real meal, an oatmeal with an omelette, with some fruits and vegetables here and there. But the thing is, it would take me 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, because the time you spend actually cooking, eating the food and cleaning is humongous. I could have used this time so much better, right? And in the morning, I could have just slept for an extra 30 minutes. And let me tell you something. The extra 30 minutes of sleep that you can get in the morning instead of eating breakfast are so much better for your health and wellness than just eating breakfast, right? Because why eating breakfast if you can just eat more for lunch and for dinner, right? Or if you don't want to sleep an extra 30 minutes, you can just use that time more productively by working, by studying, by doing anything you want. So the first benefit of that intermittent fasting schedule is that you save time in the morning, and that time you use it more productively because you're more focused, which brings me to the next benefit, the next point, the gain of focus, of mental clarity. Look, it's not something that is new, it's not a secret. When you're fasted, you're more lucid, you're more accurate, you're sharper, you're clearer mentally. If you're studying, if you're working, if you're writing a book, if you're trying to do something creative, whatever, thanks to that fasted state, you'll be more lucid, you'll be clearer. But now, if fasted states are better for mental focus, then why not fast the whole day and only eat at night? Well, that's because skipping lunch, in my opinion, is not sustainable for everybody. At least it's not for me, and it's not for 95% or even 99% of the population, right? Because up to a certain point, if you fast the whole day and you only eat for dinner, then during the afternoon you will be so hungry that it will diminish all the benefits regarding mental focus. Now, the next benefit is that you're able to eat bigger meals, right? That's what I like personally. I love eating big meals. But don't worry, if you don't like eating big meals like me, Still, you can implement that fasting schedule in your everyday life, right? It would be a shame to not implement it just because of that specific point, just because you don't like eating big meals. Plus, you can see another advantage for you is that it's going to be extremely easy to cut, right? To lose weight. Because if you don't have a big appetite and you're only eating twice a day, losing weight will be something that is almost effortless, all right? And even if you have a big appetite like me, it's going to be much easier to lose weight when you're eating twice a day than when you're eating 3 times a day. I think that's something that we can all agree with. And by the way, for the gym bros that are thinking that eating twice a day is not conducive with gains, let me tell you something. There is a myth in the fitness industry that you need around 30 grams of protein every 3 hours. That's BS. That's completely nonsense. Our ancestors, before Neolithics, before civilization, they were not eating every 3 hours. They were eating only when the hunt was successful, but they didn't get to eat every 3 hours. And don't worry, the body is a real adaptating machine. If you don't eat every 3 hours and you only eat 2 big meals with a bunch of protein, you're good, you're perfectly fine. And by the way, recent studies show that there's no limitation in the protein synthesis in one meal. So you can literally eat 2 meals a day with 100 grams of protein each, and you're completely okay. And of course, the link of the references are in the description below, don't worry. Now, the next benefit may seem a bit silly, but it's that you culpabilize less when you're partying, when you have a birthday, or on Christmas and New Year's Eve. That's why I told you earlier that you're going to spend a better New Year's Eve. The problem with those big parties at the end of the year is that people believe that they're going to gain 10 pounds overnight, they're going to gain weight, they're going to gain fat. But if you fast, you just have to eat a light lunch, and then at night you have all the calories of your day left, so you can really enjoy your dinner, your restaurant, your family dinner, your birthday dinner, whatever, and you will be completely okay. And the next benefit is extremely important. It's related to your sleep. Like I told you earlier, you want to eat around 7 or 8 p.m. That's because most of people go to bed around 10, 11 p.m. or midnight. All right? And you want to finish eating your last meal of the day 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. I can't emphasize enough the importance of not eating right before going to bed, right? If you eat at 9:30 p.m. and right after you go to bed, your sleep is going to be messed up. You're not going to be resting in your sleep. You're going to be digesting food. Besides, being in full digestion is not conducive with falling asleep and staying asleep, because digestion increases your heart rate, increases your body temperature, which is literally the opposite of what you need to stay asleep and to fall asleep. By not eating 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, your sleep is going to be improved. Now, what if you work out like me? What if you work out in the morning? Because if you work out in the afternoon between your first and second meal of the day, there's no problem. But you may believe that if you work out in the morning, meaning if you work out fasted, the universe is going to collapse or you will die. No, don't worry. Working out fasted, exercising fasted is completely okay. You just have to be a bit adapted, right? And you have to make sure that you get enough electrolytes. The whole meal that you ate the night before is not going to disappear, right, overnight. You still have all the glycogen, all the fats that you've eaten. Don't worry, you have a bunch of energy. What's important to get is the electrolytes, sodium mainly. So what I recommend you to do is, if you're running, if you're working out in the gym, when you're sweating a lot, if you do it in a very hot environment, or if you exercise for a long duration, take a pinch of salt in your water to make sure that you get those electrolytes in your system, right? Because an electrolyte deficiency leads to cramps, weaknesses, injuries. You can also faint. So you need to get enough electrolytes. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that thanks to everything I've said, you're going to implement intermittent fasting, that intermittent fasting schedule in your everyday life. And remember that the best way to know if something works or not is to try it for yourself. So just try for yourself, experience it, and then you'll see that it's completely amazing. Thank you for watching this video. As always, you can leave a like, subscribe to my channel as well, click the bell button, leave a comment, and I see you next time.